The wooden boats rock gently on the dark waters of Makoko, the floating slum of Lagos. People lived in small houses built on stilts, with wooden paths and canoes as roads. Eo stepped off the bus and looked around. The air smelled of smoke, fish, and something older. Something hidden. He asked around for a man called Papa Jide, a boatman known to take people where the water sings. No one wanted to talk, but a young girl finally pointed toward a shack near the edge. Papa Jide was old, with grey hair and sharp eyes. When Eo told him he was looking for a shrine, the man laughed. "People who go looking for such things don't come back," he said. "I'm already marked," Eo replied, pulling off his cap to show the glowing cowrie. The old man's smile faded. "I'll take you. But once we reached the spot, I turned back." Eo nodded. They rode in silence as the boat slid through narrow paths. After a while, the water grew darker. Birds flew away. Everything became quiet. Papa Jide pointed ahead. "There. Look." Eo saw it, a small island of stone and mud, half covered by vines. At the center stood a broken hut with black markings. As Eo stepped onto the island, the cowrie on his head paused. The ground shook slightly. A voice whispered in his ear, "You found the first gate." Inside the hut was a stone bowl filled with dark water. Around it were skulls and bones. Eo raised the wooden staff Mama Iriti gave him and shouted, "I break your power." The wind howled. The water boiled. Black smoke rose from the bowl and formed a shape, an old woman with empty eyes. She screamed, and the ground cracked. The shrine fought back. Eo slammed the staff into the ground. The hut burst into flames. The shadow screamed again, then vanished. Silence. The first shrine was broken. But as Eo walked back to the boat, he noticed something strange. The cowrie on his forehead was glowing brighter. Eo didn't rest. The cowrie burned more each day. The voices were louder. He knew the shrine's power was fighting back. He boarded a small bus heading north, past busy streets, dusty roads, and farmlands. By sunset, he reached the edge of the Abeokuta forest, a thick, silent place that even hunters avoided. Old stories called it Igbo Age, the forest of wealth, but not the kind you want. It was said that people went in and found riches, but never came out. With his staff in hand, Eo stepped into the trees. The forest was cold, though the air outside was hot. Strange birds called above. Shadows moved like they were watching. After hours of walking, he came to a clearing. In the middle stood a tall tree with red cloth tied around its trunk. Skulls hung from the branches. The ground was covered with ash. The second shrine. As Eo moved closer, a low growl echoed. Then he saw them, 3 black dogs, larger than lions, eyes glowing red. They stood between him and the tree, growling deep. The shrine was protected. Eo raised his staff. The dogs lunged. He dodged the first one and hit it with the staff. It turned to smoke. The second bit his arm, tearing flesh, but he gritted his teeth and shouted a word that came from deep inside, "Asida." Light shot from the staff. The last 2 dogs howled and vanished. Eo dropped to his knees, bleeding. But he stood again, limped to the tree, and touched the red cloth. He whispered, "Your time is over." The earth shook. The tree caught fire without burning. A black wind blew through the forest, then silence. The second shrine was gone. But Eo collapsed. His arm was badly hurt. He felt weak. The mark on his forehead was now glowing red. From somewhere in the trees, he heard Baba Eshu's voice again. "You're getting closer, Eo. But you cannot break what you are now becoming." Eo stood in front of the giant National Theatre in Lagos, his arm bandaged, his body weak, but his spirit burning. The mark on his forehead now glowed red at night. People stared as he passed, sensing something strange about him. The theater looked like a giant crown, but beneath it, something dark waited. Ao didn't need a guide this time. The mark pulled him, like a magnet. He found a locked maintenance door at the back. With a whisper, it creaked open on its own. The stairs led down into the earth. He walked through old tunnels filled with dust and spiderwebs. Lights flickered above. Then, he reached a heavy iron door carved with symbols. As he touched it, the cowrie burned hot. The door opened. Inside was a round chamber with smooth black walls. In the center was a glowing pit filled with red mist. Around it stood 7 hooded figures, all facing him. At the far end stood Baba Eshu, taller now, stronger, his eyes burning like fire. "You destroyed 2 shrines," he said, voice echoing. "But this one is different. This shrine is inside you." Ao felt his knees go weak. "I still have a choice," he said, lifting his staff. "You're wrong," Baba Eshu growled. "You were chosen before you were born. Your bloodline is tied to this place. You don't break the shrine. You become it." Suddenly, the hooded figures moved forward, chanting. The red mist swirled and flew toward Ao. He fell to the ground, screaming. Visions hit him, of his ancestors kneeling at this shrine, making pacts for power. Of generations bound by darkness. "No!" Ao shouted. "It ends with me." He slammed the staff into the red pit. The ground roared. Cracks split the walls. The shrine groaned like a dying beast. Baba Eshu screamed as light burst from the staff, filling the chamber. The cowrie on Ao's forehead shattered. The red mist was gone. Silence. The hooded figures collapsed into dust. Baba Eshu's body faded. The pit closed. Ao lay on the floor, not moving. Then, a breath. He opened his eyes. The mark was gone. He had done it. But as Ao walked out of the ruins beneath the theater, he didn't see the small cowrie shell lying in the corner, still glowing faintly. The shrine was broken, but not forgotten. Months passed. Ao stayed hidden, living in a quiet town near Ilorin. His wounds healed, and the voices stopped. The mark was gone. For the first time in a long while, he could sleep without seeing fire, blood, or Baba Eshu. He sometimes visited Toby, who now lived with a kind pastor and his wife. The boy smiled more now. He was safe. Ao was glad. But at night, Ao would stare into the sky and wonder, was it really over? One evening, he got a call from Mama Iriti. "I felt something," she said. "A shift in the wind. Something old has stirred again." Ao's blood ran cold. "But the shrine is broken." She was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Yes. But something has taken its place." She hung up. That same night, deep beneath Lagos, in an old drain forgotten by all, a young girl wandered too far. She found a cowrie shell glowing faintly in the dark. She picked it up. And the shrine whispered her name. Please follow for more interesting stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe.